Oh yeah. Hello. How are you doing? Hope you all are doing well. Welcome. Cool, huh? Only problem, I just realized when I move my mod wheel, I lose that patch. Okay, cool. Welcome. Hey, this is a live stream for PlugInGuru.com. I'm John Skippy Limcool. And we've got so much to show you today. Let's get the chat window up and running. We don't need Dropbox. We don't need that. All these applications you have to have running to get everything to work. It's crazy. Go over here. YouTube Live. Hopefully there's some happy faces there saying good day, good day. Welcome. Yay. So I'm going to give you guys a link if you want to listen to this on a high quality, out of sync audio. Let's see here, log in. Let's see if I can. Oh, I can't do it. My license expired and I haven't done the actual signing up for it. So sorry about that. We'll do that another time. Oh my gosh, it's been crazy. So welcome. Good to see you all. It's nice. Let's see. I want to make this go away. I can't make that go away. It's so funny how they do stuff on, they have all the banners and things on YouTube for stuff they want you to do. And Big E, good to see you, buddy. So I am playing around with CloudCity. The final version has been released. And just so you know, the name looks pretty much on the website when you go to log in and download this version. It looks pretty much like the old one, but there's 3 spaces in between CloudCity and PlugInGuru. So it goes PlugInGuru, 3 underlined spaces, then CloudCity volume 1, I believe. So it is a new version of the library. I didn't want to make it some weird name with update or something in the name. And so that's what I did. So you can log into your account. For those of you that have download problems because of Amazon, which is the weirdest thing, you can email at unifysupport@pluginguru.com, and I will get you a link to download the library. I could almost put it in chat because it's a protected library. You can't do anything with this library unless you own it. So I won't do that though. So there's all sorts of new goodies added to this. And if you go CC, I have started in motion. Logic started up and so it messed things up. If you go to Unify and you type CC bonus, let's see here. Actually, we go to tags. Yeah, or CC bonus will do it just by typing in CC bonus. All these are new patches that have been added to the update. To start with, inside of CloudCity update is Compact Conga. This is bodiless congas. They're for touring, and I found a really cool pair, used at a furniture store and bought them. CloudCity was already out, and I decided I wanted to sample these, map them. I used MIDI box to make a grooves. I made a stack so you can actually go here and let's go over here. Let's get something else going on with this. Let's go BPM drums. Let's see, clear. BPM drums. Let's go BPM percussion. Let's go drums. Up here to drums. Let's go hip skip. Let's have a down tempo join with this. Then let's go over here, change the different patterns. If you know Howard Jones, that's there. Right? So they sound really cool. They don't sound like a bongo, and they don't sound like a conga. So it's a new, cool sound. And they sound good transposed to different tunings. Now they're more bongo-y. They also make kick-ass bass components. So if we go to CC bonus, you'll notice I made these basses, acoustic 1 and B. That's sounding really a little bit hot in here. Take the conga out. It's conga attack. There's a couple others going somewhere. If you want to like just rip the head off some. Cool. So there's a whole bunch of different basses. There's these 10 chords, which are really fun. I did 10 different MIDI files, and they're presented in a whole bunch of different ways because there's a lot of different things we can do with MIDI files. So and the way it works is this. Let me make sure that I'm following along with. So this is using kind of a cool trick. I'm actually telling MIDIBox to play super slow at 16 times rate, so that it takes what would normally be a short thing and it makes it super slow. And then I haven't even slowed this down. I could even slow this down to make it longer. So now it sustains as long as I want. So I can have filtering. And then on top of that, I've layered one of the Mega Magic Violin power ensemble with a slow attack. So if you play legato, here, let's go like this. You can see me play and go over here. As long as I don't re-trigger, I'm not re-triggering that MIDI file. Until I'm ready, take my hands off, sustain pedal off. So you can do creative things beyond just playing hits. So Celestial is kind of an opening the door to all sorts of possibilities. This is dark. And the way this works, you can go here to 10 chords and check this out. I have the chords labeled. You got major, minor, minor 7, major 7. So you can hear all these different types, like this is the tropical type of thing, right? Then there's augmented 9, which is weird, but when you put it with a bass, it's, let's see here. If we want to go over here and let's add a bass to this. Had to put a weird chord in there. For my Herbie fans, my Herbie. There's the 7.9. We all love that one. It turns down just a little bit. And again, this sound, I've got kind of like a disclosure. You can play with the filtering. Or really open it up. Right? So there's all sorts of ways to use these chords. Let's keep going. There's also the major 7. Add the 9. And then a crazy 7, 9, 13. That's that really big euphoric lead sound. So you can use this knob here to change to any of the chords you want. Have fun with it like that. Sequence it doing that type of thing to give you ideas so that you can make your own chords. Make a chord, save it as a MIDI file. Make a chord, save it as a MIDI file. Have them all start at 1, 1, 1, beginning the downbeat. And make your own. Gliss. I think this is using Sonny's little bell, Xylo bell thing he found. Right? Hopeful. This is actually playing 2 chords at once. And we have together. And then we get some cool ones. This BS, it doesn't mean bull. It means there's a bass. So you can do, and I have it where it's windowed. See how it's set at 100s when you play soft. Only when you hit hard, you get the bass. Cool, huh? And then round robin hit. This is using this really cool multi-thingy of both mallet and voice. Oh, no, this is just the mallets. You could do this one, which is round robin and voices. A little bit too weird, so I went with just the normal. But it's playing randomly different notes. And then you hear how it's broken. That's because I'm using jitterbox. No jitterbox? So you can get all sorts of cool things like that. If you want to take this way out, we want to do something really cool. Let's do this. Let's add a BPM Base. So we're going to turn off our search criteria for a second. Go BPM Base, and let's add like our hip hop sub. Let's get a drum groove going. See if I can find the right drum groove. This will work. Let's slow it down a little bit. Check this out. So, first of all, jitterbox with no timing. With jitterbox. So much cooler. But do this. Set it to like a half note set it to simplified times and minimum like an 1/8 note. And now set it to max so it has the full range of 100% here, the whole range. Now it plays them like arpeggiators. Because each timing event coming in gets a random time up to a quarter note. Or you can make it shorter if you wanted to make it like 16th notes and the minimum of 16th notes. So you can make these cool things that do randomly arpeggiated things. And all I'm doing is playing one note. I'm going. So you can real time get cool ideas going. It's just silly what we can do. And then if you want to make it like you're going to 20th century modern music, go over here and set it up like this. And now it's random notes for everything. Maybe we want to limit so it doesn't go quite so low, only from like middle C up. So from C4 to C6. And let's have it only do that like 10% or 15% of the time. So just get these gremlin notes every now and then. So it becomes a little side composer interacting with you and stuff like that. So this is using Chaos Street Dreams, the hip hop sub, Bpm Base hip hop sub, and then the 10 chord round robin hit. Random round robin hit. It's actually random round robins. So, and then there's Thumby, which is. Okay. And then here's the ones that were previously included with CloudCity. They're still here, Melody Fall and Tinkerbell. I grant you the keys to the kingdom. Okay. So those are all new. That's a whole experimental series that took over a day to create. So I hope you appreciate that energy into this library. There's more basses. There's Wake the Neighbors. Right? On top of that, let's go CC bonus. Other things that I added. There's some really cool pianos. Really nice. There's these jitterbox get downs where I'm using the jitter box to pretty fresh. So there's also the Compact Club Jam. Jitterbox is adding random stuff to these guys, so. You never know when they're gonna pop up. So when you put that behind a little groove, it's pretty cool. There's a Slow Attack Wind Gong, which is this really cool gong. Just wanted a slow version of it to call up. Another kalimba patch. Then there's some synths. Which actually come from MIDI box, the grooves that I created. Right? If you turn on MIDI box, you'll hear where those came from. Some big synth things. Stuff like that. The final thing that we added to this really cool update to CloudCity is almost 450 layer presets. These did not exist in the previous version. And so for an example, let's go to one of the key patches that I showed you, like here, heavy heart pad. Okay. Now, if I want, I go to layer presets for the instruments, and right here, when you go to add instrument, where you normally see these, you'll notice that there's now a PlugInGuru CloudCity Volume 1, which has all of these to play with. And inside of here are things like you can go guitar and all the really cool guitar things. It has the MIDI box turned on because that's now part of the layer. You could turn that off and then so there's all sorts of cool things that you can combine. So you go here to pad. Here's all the pads from all the different patches. So MIDI box song idea 3. So you can quickly add things without it being like a whole patch and laying it as a Unify. I've pulled out all of these components. They're especially cool if you go to the percussion stuff for building drum grooves and stuff. When you get to the BPM drum, each drum groove, the chaos, down-tempo, hip-hop, hip skip, and the recycle files are all here as, start with this, go to CloudCity, BPM drum, down-tempo thriller, all of these here. Go to CloudCity, go to BPM percussion. All the percussion instruments, say I want a buffalo drum groove. That's there. If I want to keep adding to it, I go over here, add like a bass. Turn down everybody in terms of the bass. On it. So you can build from all these layers composite grooves really fast. So it's a fun place to play and experiment and to have access to all of these elements. I mean, there's so much here to play with. It's crazy. Go to BPM perk, and here's all the really cool pads that and then I can option remove layer 1. Like, just tons of stuff. So in some ways it's like hidden patches, because all these types of things are patches in a lot of cases. So when you get to the guitar, Glowing Sun Goddess, right? So there's 448 layer presets, as well as the compact congas, the MIDI files, the 10 chord CC, really cool things, all the basses, all the keyboard sounds. Plus I went through and fixed literally tons of knobs that had names that weren't set quite right. There's a lot of work, tons of work. So hopefully you guys can appreciate Now this is a library I've decided I'm never going to put on sale. It's $59 from now until the end of time, because I've put literally months into it. It could easily be a $149 library. So it's forever on sale at $59 is how I will market and advertising it. It has, just so you have an idea of the scope, all of these are sampled in it, as well as flute phrases from Sunny, flute playing by Sunny for the flute, vocal chops like all over the place. Those are all part of the library as well. So it's a great value. There's a ton to play with. I love the flute stuff that Sunny did. There's phrases here, right here, Sunny's flute phrases. Remember, with these, to open up Guru Sampler. Oh, I can show you something cool that's coming. Check this out. In an update that will be coming probably in the next week, you're going to get reverse of samples. So you can play Sunny backwards or forwards. But if you go over here to samples, you can choose one sample so you can play it across the keyboard. Like if this is too sharp, move the sample start. Little slow attack. So you can take these phrases and turn them into all sorts of things. So they're super, super cool. There's Zen Reverb here you can turn off if you want it dry. Oh, and then turn off here and turn off here. So they are totally dry. But you have all of these samples. It's like how many songs were done with that Emu sample that Peter Gabriel used for Sledgehammer. Here you have literally a whole garden golden chest. Just use that right there on some cool groove in the background. And you have these native wooden flutes phrases that are just beautiful. Also, the down here at Wind, I believe, is Sunny's solo flute, the last patch in the library. And there is Sunny playing the flute. So we're going to be working out, doing some sessions with Sunny for a new library of more flutes and more samples and more things like that, as well as more phrases, because he's just a talented cat. So it's really cool. The vocal chops for playing chords or leads. And there's like 25, I think 23. Some more abstract and so those are there. Tons of stuff. So CloudCity is done. I get to move on. It's very, very refreshing. I have, oh my gosh, so many other things in the works, but it's nice to come to a place where we can say, put the bow on it, and it is complete. So that is complete. I will point out something, TetraSonics, from our family member, Tim Dale, who's here. Yeah, just scratch the surface. Trash can, did you miss something? YouTube didn't show the live stream for me until just now. Well, you can watch once it's saved to go. Trash Can's one of our friends that did something really cool that we'll be showing in a minute. There is now, these libraries of Omnisphere are available inside of Unify. Check this out. Isn't that beautiful? So we'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to point out real quickly that, let's go over here to Omnisphere. Oh, it's still doing, I fixed that. I found out how to fix it, and it's not doing it in this that's frustrating. Okay, so I have to show Omnisphere here still for some reason. So go Omni. TetraSonics is the library from Tim Dale, 256 patches. It is still on its oh, I should also point out also, there's a sale going on at PlugInGuru.com, including TetraSonics, which is there. I'll get these guys all out of the way. Just came out and is tearing up our charts. People are loving it and giving us kind words. There's also a 40% off summer sale on everything. TetraSonics is on its own sale price. Unify and CloudCity will never go on sale, so they are at their retail prices of $59 and $79. But everything else at the site, all the other libraries, are available at their nice prices. So if you want to get into like Omniverse, this is one of the libraries that's been converted to have Unify. Instead of $35, it's $21 right now. So everything's on sale at the website until August 1st. So please pick those up. Now, TetraSonics is really cool, more on the complex, how fast can you drive Omnisphere kind of a libraries that Shane did, or Tim Dale did. So there are all these patches, which in most cases use 3 or 4 layers. That sound like that. Why are you doing this? What is the situation here? Oh, that's because I'm there. No, I need to be here. So you have all these cool patches, right? Good stuff. Now, because this is inside of Unify, we made a unified version of this library. You need to own Omnisphere, and you have to own TetraSonics for this to work, but then you can go here to all the other patches and add them to this. So I could say right click and say, add this to this groove, and let's add some percussion to this and see what happens. And then go to CloudCity. So you can quickly get into trouble doing all sorts of cool things. Now the TetraSonics library for Unify, I had made some mistakes. We did some sample fixing of clicks and sample loops, and I had not updated the ESQ patches, and so they were not playing. Those have been fixed. So if you use the Unify version of this library, on the website is an updated version of TetraSonics to download, and just all you have to do is take the right here where it says Unify, just take the .guru file, drag it right here, and when it says, do you want to install, say okay, and boom, it will install, it will refresh the browser, and boom, you will have TetraSonics with updated patches so that all of these now work. You don't get an error message anymore. You wouldn't, what would happen is you'd call it up, there'd be no sound, and then you'd open up Omnisphere, and Omnisphere would be the one that would give you the error message saying, I can't find this sample. And it's because of the sample editing work I did to fix some clicks on some of Tim's loops. We fixed those up, but we broke our Unify patches. But that's fixed. So that is a free download it's included with the Omnisphere library, so you can enjoy it as an Omnisphere only set of patches, as well as inside of Unify, where at this point, it's really easy to go over and add it with other libraries. Say I wanted to go to synth. Let's add this with a cool brass pad from Obsession. can do stuff like that all day long. Really, really fun. So make sure you notice the TetraSonics library that it's on sale for $29 until August 1st. And then it goes to its retail of $39. Okay. And then Trash Can is one of the cats along with, I'm going to forget his name. I'm horrible with names. It's one of my drawbacks in life. Let me go over here real quick. Kendall, I believe is. Yeah, Kendall Cochran. Those two guys this week on the same day sent me a note saying, I'm working on converting some Omnisphere libraries to Unify. And in fact, I think Kendall even actually sent me a couple of the libraries he'd already converted. Hey there, Jason. Good to see you. Is Kendall here? I think Kendall had to work. But Trash Can's here. And so they sent pretty much complete. I had to go through and fix a few things here and there. But we now have on the website updated versions of the Omniverse 1, Omniverse 2, Omniverse 3 libraries. They are now including Unify versions of the libraries, which means, as well as OmniChill and Mega Magic pads, which means this. You need to own Omnisphere, and you need to own the library. And then when you get Omnisphere, let's go here to Omnisphere. It's now only supporting, I pulled out the files for Omnisphere version 1, because we're so far past that supporting Omnisphere 1 doesn't even make sense anymore. But if you go to Omniverse 1, you have all the patches here. There's like 183 patches, I believe. But Beautiful Chaos, if I want, I can go over here now and I can go to Omniverse 1 to Bells, and you'll notice Beautiful Chaos. And it sounds identically the same. Except now it's in a format where I can say, oh, I want to add this bell to it too. And the big advantage is each one of these Omnisphere plugins are on their own unique processor threads on my computer. So I can keep adding to this. I could go down to the synths. I could add something else like a pad waiting to be fired. That should be interesting. Or not. Let's get rid of that. Say pure green, add that. And I can play it in ways that it's physically impossible on my computer to play this. There's no way on the planet with 3 layers and those types of releases I could play that in Omnisphere without it completely cracking up with audio glitches and stuff. But in Unify, these are 3 separate threads on my computer, so it's sharing the load, and so I can use these libraries in cool ways. I can also go over to any other library and say I wanted to have some sort of cool synth layered with this. I could say, boom, add this, and working that fast, I don't know anywhere else you could do this and then save it as a patch, send it to a friend in New York that's working on a PC, and he loads the same thing. Good stuff. So Omniverse 1, 2, and 3, which tell a story. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but there's a story between those three libraries. If I go over here and see, let's get this to get out of the way. Let's see here. Here's Omniverse 2, Omniverse. Where's Omniverse 3? So if you've seen the artwork, it tells you a bit of the story. Omniverse is this made-up planet that I decided to kind of be the themes of these 3 libraries. Omniverse 1 is actually the first library I ever created for Omnisphere. So this is where it all started, was with this library. and I made, I believe it's like 180 patches for it. We could find out. Here, let's do this. Let's go Omniverse 1, reveal in the Finder. 154 patches, because there's a graphic image in here for the artwork. So 154 patches are in Omniverse Volume 1. The planet's healthy. Looks really good. It's beautiful. Yay, life is good. Omniverse 2, this weird race had shown up, and they turned the planet, took away all the nutrients. They were sucking the life out of the planet. So this is darker, more, if we go to Omniverse 2, you know, there's all sorts of different evil calling. Stuff like that. Big basses that were in the darker tone. Fuzzwoods and the guitars were really cool. So the planet wasn't all that healthy for Omniverse 2. Called The Dark Hope. We borrowed a little bit from the Star Trek, the opening thing. So A Dark Hope is like the beginning of a chapter of the movie. I don't know if you can tell that or not. And then Omniverse 3, Aurora. Magical light came and saved the species, brought the planet back from extinction, basically. There's a README, there's demo songs, including this incredible, is this the one, Battle? I think this is the one. There's one of these. Yeah, so if I go over here, and if I drag this over here, it will convert it so you can hear some. This was made by a dear friend of mine from Canada. Yay, Canada. Amin Bhatia, don't show again, and wait, I need to turn off the flex time. Turn off flex. No flex. Please play back at your normal speed. Smart tempo settings. Hold on a second here. So when I defaults for flex of following, keep project tempo, automatic mode. I don't like this with Logic, the way that it does this stuff. It does weird things. Back here, demo songs. Anyway, this piece was, I don't know if I'm going to get it to play right or not. That's right. Anyway, at the same time that was going on, I hired my graphic artist at the time was this really talented artist that did a complete 4-page comic book following the story of this planet and how it, see right there from Omniverse 2, this evil race, they were trying to use these machines to overturn and suck out the life, and the planet became aware and turned the sunlight into aurora borealis light, which freaked out, inverted, turned the health back to the planet, and destroyed the evil race, scattered them to the far sides of the galaxy. So it's a 3-part series concept sound library, if you want to put it that way. And the third one, Amin Bhatia wrote this incredible piece. So that was made using all the these sounds that I made for Omnisphere. So there's more cinematic kind of things in here. The power chord, slow, and then stuff like that, all the heavenly pads. Right? So that's all in Omniverse 3. Okay? Then along a little bit later, I did an Omnichill library, which was really fun. And so let's see here. I can show you the artwork for that. And the planet went frozen again, but for a good reason. It was healthy. It's healthy, but it's chilling for the season or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, but there's an Omnisphere 2 version that's just a .omnisphere file. The Unify format version is just, these are unprotected files. There's no license or anything required for these, although you must own Omnisphere. I will tell you this. For the Unified libraries, you don't even have to install these into Omnisphere for these patches to work because they're not needing new samples. This is only using the samples that are inside of Omnisphere. So, I mean, I have perused and worked on the samples that are inside Omnisphere for many libraries. And so I know what's there and I've mined it to where I'm done mining it. So, but I pulled out, there's gold in here, my friends. Because Omnisphere samples, Eric Persing is the master when it comes to sample creation and stuff like that, without a doubt. And they're in this library, so that is to work with. Now, Omnichill takes a whole different kind of direction. It's a bit experimental. Some of these BPM synths and stuff are... Yeah, you're not... Okay. Oh, I need to... Oh. Like that. This is a cool, like, experimental, like, for you guys that like all the Tangerine Dream kind of things and stuff. If you take this and combine it with, like, say one of these, like, grooves like this, it's pretty cool. Right? That kind of stuff. There's all sorts of other things, special effects, things for chill. But there's some really cool BPM stuff in here. These like beautiful butterflies. Really cool stuff. Some of these I've heard on lots of different tracks. Right? So there's all sorts of fun stuff in that category. BPM pluck, there's all sorts of... This is at the time that I had learned about using sidechain envelopes inside of Omnisphere. So there's a lot of these modulated envelopes like this. So you can edit these to your heart's content. Right? Okay. So Omni Chill goes to some really cool places, tons of cool basses. All sorts of places. So, these Oceanic Explorers, I don't know, but there's whale and sea samples inside of Omnisphere. So if you want oceanic, this is Jacques Cousteau in the ocean. These are here. For your experimental nightmares or all sorts of weird things that's like forward and backward samples and right? So that's Omni Chill. And then finally, Mega Magic pads. And what's interesting with this is it can really show you the stark difference between what samples sound like when you have the rule with Omnisphere is one sample across the keyboard, right? So if we take something like Battleborn and we say, here's the patch version where it's just one sample across the keyboard. Now these are new samples I've created. And then this is the multi version, which is using 6 samples. Whole different place. Here's Cape Siren, the single sample. It's nice. Let's play that same chord though with the multi version, and that's what it's supposed to sound like. Go to something like Guitartronic. Here it is as just a single sample. Here it is with 6 samples. Because instead of one sample right here that has to play the whole keyboard, there's 6 samples on every E across the keyboard starting right. E, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's every E is what I sampled for this library. So each octave has a sample. Here it's only one sample for the entire keyboard range. And so you don't have anywhere near the depth of stereo imaging, just totally different. Here's Bamboo Splinter as a single sample. Here it is as 6 samples. There's samples in each range to play how it's supposed to sound. It's not slowing down. Go to something like Axis of Power Dry. Here it is with 6 samples. Totally different. Right? So, this is one library, unlike the other 4 that have been converted. This one you must install into Omnisphere because it's sample-based. Any of the sample-based libraries that we create Unify Patches of the Omnisphere library. If it's using samples, TetraSonics uses custom samples, so you need to install that into Omnisphere. This is nothing but custom samples for all of these that you're hearing. So Sleeping Skeletons, right? That's the single. Here it is with 6 samples. And I know lots of people that never played the multis of Mega Magic pads because they didn't realize the difference. It's hard to show the difference back and forth fast. Here I can show them fast because I can go, here's Spiteful Spirit Dry, single sample. And here it is with 6 samples across the keyboard. totally different thing. So, Mega Magic Pads is my #1 best-selling library that I have made. It has, I was ending a marriage during making this library, and a lot of my spirit is in the sounds here. And it was tough times, but this is kind of frozen in time from that era and that experience and everything I was going through. And I love pads, so it was good therapy. Okay, so on top of that, at the end are all the Z patches, which are additional patches. Some I made, some Airwave made. Using all the samples in unique ways, they call a couple of these up in layers, see what they sound like. Right? Go to Obsession. So that's 4 Omnisphere patches and Obsession. And you see how well contained. I'm doing a live stream sending high def video at the same time. So it's still to this day blows me away that Unify is as efficient as it is. Is there a simple formula for a pad? Good question. A pad, basically, the formula is to have, let's go to, well, let's use Omnisphere since we're in Omnisphere love time. So let's go over here and call up, and because it has graphic envelopes, we can go over here. Typically, your synth might have a little release. You might have it be a short pluck, so you'd have, these I typically call plucks, but if you start getting into where it sustains, longer release, and a slower attack, and then it just becomes a matter of harmonic content. If you want, you can go like this. Let's right click and modulate this with an LFO. Now that might sound like too much, but if you go over and you add a delay to it, let's add just a stereo delay, or chorus echo does it automatically. Just say delay times 2. Then you can go back here and bring your depth. And then if you said copy this layer, and then go to layer B and paste this layer, and maybe choose a different waveform, go to the classic waveform sawtooth and something different. So it's, you know, then use the latch so you can That's the basic components of a pad. Would be slower, darker, have some motion. The traditional is to fine tune this like +10 and the other side -10. So you have a nice spread. Right? And then it's just a matter of using different synth sounds. If you put a sample in this, that's of course going to take it to a whole different level because it's a sample recorded of a pad or a synth sound from something else. But the pad elements mainly are slower attacks, so you don't. That's not defined. If you go over here. That's still a synth to me. If you go to the amp, and then it's just a matter of finding motion. Right click and assign this to LFO1. So we go all mod sources, go to LFO1. You know, all that kind of, that time territory is when you start and then if you have unison, that of course immediately takes you into more complex pad fodder to work with, stuff like that. Yes. Just, yeah, as a summary. So Tim Dale is here and TetraSonics is his latest library, but let me show you real quickly while we're showing fun libraries. He has some really cool BPM libraries, Omni X and Omni X Volume 2. These will at some point be converted to Unify for sure because they're all nothing but BPM. Really cool stuff. We could actually go like this and say duplicate. Open the second one. Go back to, let's go to Omni X Volume 2. That's just two Omni X and Omni X Volume 2. Now, these libraries were made back when Omnisphere was only 2 layers. So these are only using 2 layers. So they are more efficient. I liked Omnisphere a lot more back in the day when it was only 2 layers. I'm not a fan of the 4-layer decision, but if there was, you know, multiprocessor support for when that came out, cool. But so both of the 2 Omni X libraries from Tim Dale are BPM only, all over the place. Really cool stuff. It's just so much fun stuff to play with. Let's go back to the first one. Transpose this down an octave. Yeah, octave. So these are 2 libraries that definitely must be in the Unify family because these are great patches. And they're easy to combine and sound great. Other libraries, the first library that Tim Dale did is Sabersphere Volume 1. I'm not even sure how many patches it is, but it's great. Sabersphere Volume 2 continued and kind of analogy, but this isn't rhythmically necessary. It's there is some BPM in it. Right? So those are all 40% off right now. So you can grab them for some nice prices. Yeah. Where do I get Mega Magic pads for Unify? I have the library for Omnisphere. So you download from the website, re-log in to pluginguru.com. Right there on the My Account page, it will list the libraries that you currently own. Here, I can go there with you and show you. Let's see. I don't think I have any of those libraries, but that will be in your list, and just re-download it. You'll notice that the name says Unify in it for the file. If it doesn't, email me. I tried to cover, I've made various bundles over time, and some are hidden and don't even have a page anymore, but they are still there. So let's see, do I have, did I download any? Yeah, no, but you'll get to a page like this where when you log in and it says libraries I own, it's under my account. And right here, you'll see the libraries that you own, and you just re-click the file to download it. And you can download that version, reinstall. You don't have to reinstall it into Omnisphere because it's same in Omnisphere. It hasn't changed. But in each one of these libraries that are for, with Unify format, if we go over here and put these here, you'll see Mega Magic pads. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys are going all over the place. Okay. These all, you'll notice, have open a PlugInGuru Unify format, right? And inside there is a .guru file that you just drag over Unify's interface to install. Same here. Unify format for Omniverse 3, PlugInGuru Unify format, PlugInGuru Unify format 2, and then PlugInGuru Unify format for OmniChill. So they all have added a new folder. Also, these 5 libraries, I've updated them to the Guru Bonus Presets 2019. It's been out for over a year, 2 years. Well, when were these done? Yeah, January 17th, 2019, year and a half or so. This is the updated arpeggiators. It has the envelopes, the facts, the effects, the granular presets from Creaturesque here, and Guru Stacks. The envelopes, I think this now has all the sidechain presets. There's 27 sidechain envelope presets that are included in this for Omnisphere. Those are manually installed. You have to read the PDF install on how to install those. But once you've done that, if you go to Omnisphere, you'll know that you have those, because if you go to the envelopes and you click this little triangle, it'll say envelopes 2019, and here's all the sidechain presets to choose from. And these will just call up and give you all sorts of cool presets to work with, okay? So those are all updated things that I did. As I was adding the Unify, I'm like, oh, I might as well update the patches. I got rid of the Omnisphere Volume 1, like I said, because Omnisphere Volume 1 has not been available for like 5 or 6 years. So there's no reason to keep supporting that. Everybody should update by this point, I would think, because today's computers can't even run the older versions of Omnisphere at this point. So, yeah. Units for sure, #1 non-stop creative platform. Yeah, well, that's the idea. It's a place to play with your plugins, and so this just makes it even more stamped into reality how fun it is to take some sort of a really cool pad sound from here and then go to Omniverse 2, surf around and find a pad, add that. And then go to a completely different plugin and find a pad from it. Let's say BPM synth that's fun, like Supergate. Load that, turn it down. This is a whole totally different plugin, you know? And if it doesn't work, hold down Option and click right here. Bye-bye. Purple gate, this one should work. Right? I can even do stuff in real time where I say, then let's go to Omniverse 1. I'm gonna load a bass. And I'm gonna change its top note to C3. And I have a split. And it's swinging. So let's go over here to Omnisphere. So in real time without stopping, I've made myself a split. And then I could go to CloudCity and I could say, give me a cool drum. Add this no pitch shift. I loaded the wrong one. Turning heads. Turn this down just a little bit. Go to the percussion. Let's go to I love the world percussion. So we can say keep you busy. Just for coming up with creative ideas and then like splitting this out into your sequencer. We were going to talk about how to do that. Maybe we can do that for a little bit. So say that you have this idea. I don't like the percussion yet, so let's find a different shaker combo, something. Now say that I want to modernize these so that it doesn't sound quite like percussion, right? So I could open up. Do that so that it sounds more like it's. Tune it. Maybe put some sort of cool delay. There's some delays here, so I just got to turn this up. That's better. And then turn it down just a little bit. Now at this point, if I wanted to use this in my sequencer to write a song, I could do a couple things. I could, inside of Logic or whatever my sequencer is, I could record this and it's gonna mess up because I don't have real-time monitoring turned on. I had to reset my preferences when trying to get Omnisphere to work and I got it to work, but now it's not working. It might be just in this, anyway, that's not something to talk about. But what you would do is, we're up here on this Unify layer. So all you have to do is open this up and say MIDI channel 1, and then go under track and say create new track with next MIDI channel, and it's Control plus, so I can go Control plus. So I have 4, right? So I just need to open up Unify. Let's see, it should be right here. And all I need to do is, where it says MIDI channel, let's say for the pad, let's say that we'd make that MIDI channel 1, MIDI channel 1. And MIDI channel 1, because those 3 sounds were on a MIDI channel 1. The bass could be MIDI channel 2. The drums could be MIDI channel 3. And then the percussion would be MIDI channel 4. So I've separated those out. So now when I play over here, I just have the pad. Two should be the bass. Why are you not playing bass? What's going on? This is one of those cases where I need to change this back to MIDI channel 1. Right. because Omnisphere is sitting there waiting for me to talk to it on MIDI channel 2, because that's what this has been set to. But Omnisphere is sitting there on channel 1. So in this case, this is where one of the rare cases where the MIDI output, you need to reassign it to tell it what layer to go to. So I only have one layer in this Omnisphere, and it's listening on MIDI channel 1. If I went to multi and if I change this to be MIDI channel 4, so I've changed it, right? So now it doesn't play until I go up here, and instead of being out to 1, I say out to 4. Now it plays. So you have to be aware that Omnisphere is listening on each of these layers to a specific MIDI channel, and by default, 1 through 8 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if you go to the mixer, you can change the output, and you can change the audio output right here to whatever output configuration you want it to be. So if that's set differently, then, you know, Omnisphere, because of the way Logic is set up, it's set to MIDI channel 2, the second layer, right? Well, that's cool, but Omnisphere is still sitting on layer 1, MIDI channel 1. So you have to reroute it. Even though it's listening to MIDI channel 2, it's gonna just send it straight through on MIDI channel 1 automatically, real time, just instant. Now, the layers with percussion and drums, these will work just fine. And so I could record all of these. I'm gonna lose my microphone for a second, so let me turn. So I recorded that, so I can play it back now, and it will. And the way it works inside of Logic, because I had record on all those channels, it made what they call aliases, but you could actually just go like this, or you could do something tricky if you wanted to. You could go up here and put that on 1, delete this, and right click and go MIDI, separate by MIDI channel, and it should split them out. It should. Well, I'm not going to worry about why it's not doing it, but if you copy each one of these over and split them to be just they're each talking on their own MIDI channel, but at this point it's now 4 layers that you can control in your DAW. So that would be where I would start with working with Unify and trying to split things out if you want to have separate control instead of it being just a real-time thing. But it started by a real-time combining of sounds to find the sounds you wanted to work with. Yeah. The idea is to get the Omnisphere libraries that you have that just sit there, and they're not the newest ones, but man, there's some really. I was going through the libraries, going, I forgot how fun it was to make all these cool patches, and you know, there's some really cool, huge sounds. Omnisphere is no slouch, of course. You know? So to have all these available in Unify to combine with other things that we're doing in Unify, it's really cool. Cool to be going in this direction. So at this point, my goodness, I think there's over 2,000 patches in Unify format between these. We have our native libraries of, where is, oh, it's not showing up. Let's see. Why are you not showing up? Patches. Airwave's not showing up. That's strange. Well, there's Airwaves Melodic Techno and CloudCity are two unique, just exclusive to Unify. The Airwave Melodic Techno requires you to have Serum because it works with Serum. Then there's the libraries for Omnisphere, which are now, there's 6 actually because of TetraSonics being in that list as well. So they have a little PlugInGuru O2, so they're all grouped. That will get bigger as we add other libraries. Unified, we're working on pigments, and we're working on a couple other synthesizers to get those converted to be unified in the coming months. And then the Unified Standard Library has 505 patches to play with. So it's great for all sorts of crazy fun things to... There's a library for the Discover station from Spitfire for Discover BBC that we're working on. So, good stuff. Now, I don't know how live streams are going to go for next week. I'm going to be in Santa Barbara. Actually, no, I'm going to be on the road somewhere in Northern California. So there probably will not be a live stream next week. Will there be a Unified Libraries section of the PlugInGuru website? Yes. What we're going to do is on the Unify page, I plan to make a Unify section with download links so you can download the files because there's so many. Yeah, on the road. My girlfriend Melanie, she said to say hi to everybody. Her dad is in Santa Barbara. We're going to go visit him. He has his own tamale company in Santa Barbara. So can't wait. Go down and have some tamales, hang out, get some sun, work on some things that I'm doing. Oh yeah, there's 2 libraries also from Frank Neumann. Let me see. That's, what's the name of his company? I have them here. I can show you those. Those are also in the database available to work. So if I go Unify, let's see here. I think it's particle something. I still don't understand. I got to show you a little bit more here. So let's go libraries. Let's go back to Unify. Check this. I'll show you guys a couple sneak peeks of some stuff that we're working on. This is going to be insane. Erase. So get Unify open. Refresh. One thing I love, because God bless Omnisphere, but if you add new libraries, you have to quit your whole DAW and restart. Not the case with Unify. So PSP Synth Motions, there's both the Synth Motions, which is really cool retro synths. Here's the basic sounds, and up here he gets into some really cool BPM split things, and this is all new samples. I think it's a $20 library. Great value. Yeah, so it's particle. Oh gosh, I'll find the website and I'll put it in the chat here. So new. Oh, particular. That's what it is. Particular sound. It's particular-sound.de is the website. And there's 2 libraries. The Synth Motion Drum Edition is super cool because it's drum grooves. And he's using MIDI box and all sorts of stuff. Really cool vintage. Take this and combine it with the Synth Motion basses, some BPM basses. I just loaded that one. Let's go. So really, really fun, creative, retro kind of things. Super cool. So it's particular sound, particular-sound.de. He has synth patches for Unify, both Synth Motions and then Synth Motion Drum Edition. This is the Synth Motions Drum Edition, and I believe it's $19.99 for all these really cool retro drum grooves. And then he has also, let's see, Unify. Synth Motions Volume 1 is the samples, really cool bads, pels, I show it off in there a little bit. Pads and bells. I said bads and pels. How's that? And I think it's $29. So those are 2 additional libraries to add even more to Unify to work with. Check this out. I'm going to show you just a few minutes of Discover Station. This is this library that we're working on that I'm doing in partnership with Jeff Stradling. That is so cool. We're doing all sorts of things that are, we have these, let's see, do I have sound likes like Goldsmith and takes a minute to load everything that's going. These are a little soft. We haven't optimized these. Stuff like that. He's been working on these crazy, insane, cool elements. So these are where you load up. It's kind of one-shots. So let me make sure the volume is. So those are cool. He has these string elements. He was showing me 5 and 8, so you can. Just playing between the different elements. So we're working on this. This will be coming out probably next month, is our target for this, to have all sorts of cool string elements. He made a beautiful Steinway. To play the way that he likes. There'll be more string pad element combination things. I'm making a whole bunch of things like I make for when I do my voicing for Korg, for like, you know, the big brass and strings and all that stuff all layered together. So these will be coming out as well as a library. You need to own the Discover Station library from Spitfire Audio, which is $50, and you can. And this is something where we've got control over the volume of the components. So. So you'll be able to orchestrate and automate volumes and all that kind of stuff with this when it comes out. So this is what we're working on. There's some other things. Something just came in the mail I can't even tell you about yet that I'm working on for a new library. It's going to be super cool. But no live stream next week. I'll be back the following week. No, maybe I won't. I might be gone for a while. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be back yet. I think I'm coming back the following Monday. So 2 weeks without live streams. How about a talent plugin? Yeah, that's called Piano Lessons. You can get lessons on YouTube if you want, even. So, I need piano lessons myself. My goodness. But thank you for joining. Hope you guys do well. Enjoy the sales on everything that's going on if you want new inspiring patches. Oh, I forgot to show you one more thing. Check this out. I'll show you real quickly. MPC Beats is a DAW for sequencing and writing. I'm not a big fan of the interface. I find it kind of confusing, but it's free from AKAI. And the thing that's really interesting is that when you get the download, you get links for the actual MPC beats, but you also get producer drum kits and a whole bunch of other things. And let me see if I can find where this is at, and then I'll tell you how to get there. If you look on your hard drive after downloading and you go to, in my case, it's application support, it's library application support to AKAI. There are all of these folders, which if you open them up, have wave samples of AKAI drums. Thousands of samples, free to use wherever you want to use wave samples. So even if you're not a big fan of using the MPC beats, this is an incredibly generous free offer that they're trying to get people to buy the, in fact, if you run MPC beats, if I go MPC beats, they actually have a link up here for upgrading to the version 2 version of this program. I will tell you, it's kind of a strange program. If we go over here and load something, let me check my audio settings. I don't know if this is showing up. If I go over here to audio output, if I say loopback, let's see if we hear it. Let me go over to here and then hit play over here. Yeah. So this is the software for free. I mean, it's extremely well thought out. They've been working on this for a long time. You have the ability to have up to 8 tracks of instruments and then up to 2 tracks of audio that you can record. It's well thought out. It's just, I'm used to the tools I have in Logic, and this is kind of a strange interface, and I still don't understand all the thing, how to get all these kits and so forth like that over here to where they go and stuff like that. But if you want to take the time to learn it, they've got a whole Beats University. But here, I'll do this just right here where it says upgrade to MPC. It takes you to a page where they show MPC. If you go to buy now, they have 3 ways. It's $199 to pay for it, rent to own at $20 for 10 months, or you can just pay $9.99 a month forever, which is the worst deal possible because you'll just be paying way past the time you pay for it. Although I think they're going to add new patch libraries. I don't know what they're going to do, but it is something that they're hoping you will look and consider upgrading to a new version. The thing that I found kind of weird is that if you go to all these different instruments, let's see if I go back to track view. If I go the bass, the interface for the plugins is really strange. As in, there is no interface. Let's see here. If I go here and choose, say I want it to be, again, I don't know what I'm doing here exactly, so I'm not showing this in its best light. But if you go over here, you can choose between different types of plugin types. They have like bass and electro and a couple other ones. And you open it up in the interface, there's no interface. It's just a list of folder type things with the slide bars. So it's challenging to use. It's not user friendly for the instruments that come with it, how it works. But it is still a cool value when you notice that there's this folder which has, you know, all of these samples in it to work with. So If nothing else, download it so you have access to all these beautiful AKAI samples. The instruments have all these different basses and so forth with multi-samples across the keyboard. A ton of work. Somebody's put a ton of work into this. And so say thank you and then scarf away. So I want to make sure you guys know about that. The akaipro.com is their website. And then from there, you'll see right here where it says introduce MPC beats. It's free. They want you to join their newsletter. You'll probably get spammed for doing this, but you don't have to have any hardware. You don't have to have any AKAI stuff. I don't have any AKAI stuff in my room, and it's still installed, and I'm able to play with it and stuff like that. So check that out. That is a free bonus I wanted to make sure I covered and told you guys about. All right. So thank you again for watching. It is different, but there is an interface. Oh, there is an interface. Okay. Yes, I know we need to look at our browser window stuff. Yeah. Thank you all. Be well. And we'll see you. I'll send notes via email and social media when I am back and able to do another live stream hang. I hope you all great success, creative writing, music, good times, all that good stuff. Okay. So be well. See you later.